Six angel chefs open a restaurant in the world of humans to help them through a difficult phase in their lives. They have an individual approach to each client, but a girl who falls in love with the chefs can uncover the angel's secret. She has obviously been acquainted with them before, but doesn't realize that the people in front of her are not human. There are many captivating tastes in the human world. The taste of beauty felt through sincerity, the taste of passion felt through the heart, and the taste felt by all the senses, the taste of food. Knowing this, six angelic chefs came to Earth to heal people of their deepest soul wounds through culinary masterpieces. Once among humans, they stay in a mystical place and create the illusion of a restaurant where works of art in the world of cooking will be created. Each dish will be selected based on a person's problem so that the flavor can lift the mood, expose pleasant memories, or give hope for something better. Little Supia is walking in the garden and notices a man in a snow-white suit. Running closer to him, she grabs the stranger's face as she suddenly wakes up from the gardener's scream. As it turns out, the girl has grabbed the face of a farm helper who is helping her harvest crops while her grandfather is in the hospital. When Supia learns that her grandfather's health has deteriorated, she becomes very upset. In an attempt to do him a favor, she goes to a restaurant called Soul Dish to deliver the groceries that her grandfather brings there absolutely free of charge. Meeting a charming girl on the doorstep of the restaurant, the angels feel interest and sympathy for her. The only one who is not interested in the beauty is the chef. Raviel treats the girl indifferently, as suddenly he notices an unusual pendant around her neck. He tears off the chain and tries to find out where Supia got this pendant from, but she can't answer anything. At the same time, she feels like she has seen the guy before, and he is the one who has been in her dreams all these years. Talking to the cooks, Supia remembers promising her grandfather to deliver groceries to the restaurant every morning, doing it for free. After getting to know the cooks and giving away the fruits and vegetables, the girl leaves the restaurant thinking it is a rich daddy's boy building. Raviel convinces her otherwise and shocks her with his words, for Supia did not say it out loud. At the same time, the chef denies the fact that they have seen each other before. The couple is going through a difficult phase of their relationship and is on the verge of divorce. Between them, there is no former mutual understanding and trust. They practically do not communicate and do not look at each other. Before divorcing, the man decides to make a last attempt to save the relationship. He received a free invitation from a mystical restaurant and decides to invite his wife to dinner, believing that this will somehow improve their relationship. Meanwhile, Supia thinks about her conversation with the chef as she walks back to the farm. On the way, she doesn't look at the road as she suddenly notices a married couple driving towards them. The drivers scream and cover their eyes before hitting the brakes. A crash seems inevitable, but the cars literally pass through each other due to the fact that their meeting occurred at the intersection of different timelines. Not believing it, Supia and the man jump out of the auto to inspect the vehicle. Not only do they find no damage, but they also fail to see the auto traveling to the meeting, as one has entered the mystical zone and Supia, on the other hand, has left it. Upon meeting the guests, the six angels take away their choice and offer a dish from the chef. It looks like a simple and cheap meal, but it is one that reminds the man of how their relationship with his wife began. They had no money, so she decided to please him with a non-spicy dish with strawberry jam. Soon she made another equally simple and cheap dish with rice, but the man liked it so much that he fell in love with it. Feeling nostalgic, the couple reconcile, and the meter of their love, which was approaching zero, gives them thousands of hours to spend together. While the angels rest after their hard work, Supia socializes with the gardener and his daughter. The man is very demanding, as he wants the Harris to emulate his example and become a better person. Supia tries to find out something about the restaurant, to which she takes food on behalf of her grandfather, but the subordinate hears such a name for the first time. Back in the office, the girl receives a new order and is surprised, because the cooks order exactly as much as they managed to collect in the last 24 hours. After that, she scrutinizes her pendant and is surprised to notice that, having started wearing it, she has fewer and fewer dreams with the angel. The next morning she takes a new order, but before the mystical zone the car stalls, then makes another dash. The cooks find an unconscious girl and bring her to their restaurant. Soon she wakes up, having found a way out of her childhood memories. The guys treat her to her favorite dish and claim to have prepared it themselves. One of the cooks blatantly lies, so she keeps scratching her head, since angels never lie. In fact, They only cook for special guests, and they themselves eat out of plastic containers, and Supia took one of them. A little later, the girl supervises the unloading of the food and notices that Raviel is nowhere to be found. In the same instant, he appears behind the girl, which scares her a bit. The chef reaches out his arms to Supia to hug her, and the girl cannot resist it. He affects her in a magical way, so Supia is ready for a brush, but it doesn't happen. It turns out that the chef just put a pendant on her, after which he hurries off to the restaurant. As soon as Supia leaves, a woman shows up at the restaurant arguing with the doctors on the phone. Her mother has been in the hospital for over 10 years, and the woman is tired of the constant care and monetary investment. She wants other relatives to take care of her mother next, as she is having a hard time getting by without help. The cooks know exactly what the demanding client needs, so they offer some water and bring a number of tasty dishes. After trying the main course, the woman remembers how 20 years ago her young son fell ill. Upon learning of this, the grandmother rushed to the hospital and helped her grandson. She ran so fast to the hospital that she forgot to put on her shoes, which soon made her sick. Before she went to the hospital, she treated her daughter to the exact same dish, and she remembered it for the rest of her life. Opening her eyes, the woman sees her mother in front of her, as if she were sitting next to her. The old lady asks not to be discouraged and offers to make up, after which they call from the hospital and inform that the grandmother has left this world forever. The woman does not believe it because she has just seen her mother, but realizes that all this is just an illusion. Having seen off the client, the guys prepare the same dinner for themselves, when suddenly Supia returns to the restaurant. She is sure that she has seen Raviel and the other cooks in her dreams and in the distant past, so she wants to know who they really are and will not leave without getting a true answer to her question. Some time ago, 6 angels arrived on Earth to help humans. They were banished from paradise, but they don't know why and for what, because they did nothing wrong. Not wanting to tell Supia about it, Raviel touches the girl's forehead, thus erasing her memory and turning back time. Waking up in the car, she doesn't remember the last conversation and returns home. Shortly thereafter, a man arrives at the restaurant whose daughter is ill and in the hospital. He meets a man who has decided to donate a kidney and wants to treat him to something special, but the cooks tell him that only chicken soup is on the menu today. The guy arrives at the meeting and thanks the man in return, telling him about something that happened 15 years ago. When he was a young boy, he stole a package of chicken soup, but the clerk caught him. The man claimed it was his son and bought the soup. As it turned out, he was trying to steal it for his sick mother. It was the only thing she wanted to eat, after which she fell into eternal sleep. In the present time, the guy is studying at a medical university and will become a doctor, but before he wants to thank the man and save his daughter. The father is extremely grateful to him for this, and they decide to try the same chicken soup, thanks to which they met 15 years ago. Despite the bitterness of the past, they feel happy because they were able to meet and help each other. After the visitors leave, the angels celebrate their triumph, when suddenly Raviel feels that Supia has become ill because of new memories. While harvesting the crops, the girl remembers everything that happened the day before, but doesn't realize if it's a dream or reality. Meanwhile, a teenage girl tries to find her way home, but realizes she is lost. She leaves the item as a sign that she was here and soon finds it, realizing that she is walking in circles. Frustrated, she remembers exactly how she ended up here. Her father tried to introduce her to her stepmother a couple of days ago, but the girl is adamantly opposed to their relationship as she loves her late mother. The stepmother tried to find a common language with her and wanted to give her a rice cake, but the girl threw the food on the floor. After getting a slap from her father, she ran away and is now extremely hungry. The father realizes the mistake and searches for his daughter, but without success. Meanwhile, the girl finds herself in a magical restaurant of angels and an invitation card appears in her hands. The cook brings her favorite dish in a milkshake, just like her late mother used to make. The girl is very touched by the pleasant memories, but soon it turns out that the dish was prepared by her stepmother. She got the recipe for the dish from her father and tried for the girl's sake, but is willing to part ways with her father if she is against the relationship. Soon the father also arrives on the scene and is very worried about his daughter. Seeing that they genuinely love each other, she agrees for her father to marry another woman and she replaces her late mother. Meanwhile, Supia remembers Raviel again and absolutely realizes that they have seen each other before. Supia picks grapes and then receives another food order from the restaurant of the Six Angels. Due to dizziness, the girl faints, and in her dream she clearly sees Raviel, realizing that they have known each other before. Supia is confused as her grandfather suddenly appears in front of her and tells her the whole truth. He too was an angel, but he renounced heaven to live like a common man. Having sinned, he fell to earth and found a human body, after which he fell in love and started a family. Supia has angelic DNA in her, so she can see and communicate with the chefs from the mystical restaurant. Now she realizes that she has been playing with Raviel all these years, but only her grandfather saw it. The others thought the girl was crazy. From Supia's memories, it becomes clear that she was not only friends with the angel, but was also in love with him. One day they exchanged rings of flowers and promised to love each other for life. It seemed like it would be a beautiful couple, but God decided to punish the angel and separate them so they would never be together. Arriving at the restaurant, Supia hugs the chef, but Raviel pushes her away and denies that they were ever a couple. At the same moment, an invitation appears in the girl's hand, and it becomes clear that she is the last guest of the angelic restaurant before it closes. After tasting the salad, Supia remembers how she and Raviel fed each other grapes and realizes that the chef and her boyfriend are one and the same person. Soon the girl becomes a restaurant administrator and receives a guest who becomes Raviel. The couple realizes that despite all obstacles they love each other and nothing can interfere with their happiness.